What's going on, guys? This is not your normal Altron. This is not your normal Master Grade Monday. And this is Mr. Inked Gunpla over here.
What's going on, guys?
So let's get to it. This review is courtesy of Inked Gunpla and GKGundamKits.com. Alright guys, so we're going to do a Master Grade Monday that I didn't necessarily have planned. Because, well, we finally managed to get together. Yeah. So I finally got Mr. Inked Gunpla over here to come over to the Shocky Cave. Because he doesn't seem to know how to pronounce my name, even though I only say it in the last 470 videos. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But hey, at least you refer to me as my professional name, unlike Nick, who can't stop using my real name. Which is fun to have to edit out of Nerdcast constantly. And I missed one. Anyways, so guys, we're going to do something different this time. It's not your typical Master Grade Monday, as I've said. We're going to look at the SuperNova version of the Altron, because, well, he had it, and I wanted to look at it. And nobody else in Houston seemed to even get one.
I know of 2 other people that have it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And you got this via a sponsor you picked up.
Yep.
If you don't mind plugging them, by all means.
GKGundamKit.com.
Yeah. So he got more or less commissioned to, because they liked his work, and they decided to have him build this stuff for him. As you guys can tell, this thing is definitely not a straight build by any means. And of course, we've seen Mitchell's work before in the Gundam Builders Showcase swap.
Yeah. All
the words in the world. And yeah, he definitely applied the same kind of skills to this thing. So we're going to scooch it in a little bit. But yeah, what we're going to try to do is take a look at the difference between this and, of course, the original, the best. I'm just kidding. And it's going to be an unfair comparison because obviously he's gone to the 9s on the paint job here. We're going to try to focus on the differences between the kits. Yeah. Which is going to be hard, but we'll do what we can. But first and foremost, we'll take a look at this thing. Actually, why don't you tell us just a little bit about the build and stuff like that before we go too far?
The build was a little different from my normal builds. Of course, I did go in and do the chipping and stuff, but the normal pre-shading, the colors, normal painting that I always do. The chipping, I went a little bit more, but I wanted him to look like he was, in battle.
He's been around a bit.
Oh yeah, war veteran.
Wufei has done a lot of things to it.
Yeah, and I didn't use any of the stickers at all that came. This thing came with a ridiculous sticker sheet.
Yeah, because I mean, it had a huge foil sheet that I don't even know where most of those went.
They're basically just all over everything.
Well, it looked like it was mostly to give it like a sheen to like the surface. It was weird.
It's got like the actual sheet itself was like a rainbow sheen.
Yeah, it was like a ridiculous like.
And then it had the
foil.
colors over that. So
yeah,
they were cool, but
I didn't understand the point.
I just had stickers.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do the stickers. But I mean, have you built a regular Master Grade wing kit at all?
No, I haven't.
Never. So
well, actually, yeah, way back in the day. The very first 2 kits I built, and only 2 kits back in my high school days, was the Wing Custom, and then the Death.
Okay, so the ones that I've got over there.
Yeah, but the 144. This
okay,
back,
yeah. Well, I said Master Grade. I did say Master Grade.
This is back when there wasn't a Master Grade, High Grade.
Yeah, so it was the no grade. Yeah, it was like old crappy ones.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So what you're telling me is you've never built an actual official Bandai Master Grade wing kit?
It was Bandai.
No, I'm saying this is a Master Grade.
Yeah, it wasn't like
third party, not third party.
Yeah, not Master Grade. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Specifically a Master Grade one. That's I'm using terminology here, and you're not catching. Call yourself a Gundam builder. Anyways,
hey man, I was up till 5.
Oh gosh, I don't care. No one cares about your problems. I only care about Gundams. But okay, yeah. I mean, because I've built. Well, all of the Master Grades at this point, including the one we're going to look at, I mean, I can see the differences. And, of course, the main difference with the SuperNova kits is they're based off of someone's custom build, right?
Yeah, correct. Yes, they are built on, I don't know if it's somebody's custom build into some kind of competition. I don't want to say it's GWBC. I don't know what the competition was, but I know that they were customs built for a competition, and SuperNova took those designs and made the cast from them.
Yeah.
At least from that's what I've been told.
Because of course we've got the issues currently with Bandai cracking down on knockoff companies. SuperNova probably won't have to deal with that, but we don't want to say that just yet. But realistically, they are casting this mostly from a Bandai kit, but it's been customized by someone. Because I guarantee, because looking at it, I mean, it's identical in so many ways to the normal build.
Yeah.
Even like the way the frame works, the way the armor's laid on, all that stuff, all looks essentially official. But of course, then there's the major detail differences, which is what we're going to really focus on today.
I think there's a few more, like a height difference. But
well, that's what we were talking about before we rolled the camera, because we'll get to it. But the center section here has definitely been changed, right through the torso part. The feet are definitely different, so that might also equate for some of the height. But a lot of the other stuff, and like I said, we're going to look at them as close side by side as we can. Now, I'm not going to handle it too much, and we're not going to mess with the pose a whole lot, but we'll check it out.
We'll check it down.
Yeah, some things we can mess with. We can take off the dragon fangs.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Those are obviously a huge focus on this thing, because that is one of the main differences between the kits.
Yeah.
That everybody really likes to point out. So
yeah, when I saw this design, I was like, man, those actually look like dragons.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty wicked. But, like, and it's because it's the interpretation of someone else where we get the ideas for these.
Yeah.
Because it was never meant to be, hey, this is what the official one looks like, this is the screen accurate one. Is that die supposed to be split?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, that was
oh, okay, I see it
something
now.
that I like. And at first, when I first assembled, I was like, hold on, man, this ain't right.
Yeah, it looks like actually, no, yeah, they just cut open the gap for that. Yeah. And just added that little detail. And also there's
on the lower legs.
Yeah, there's also a little detail here on the end of the knee. But yeah, I need a turntable for these kind of things. Yeah, because this would be the perfect time to have a turntable. And you did use the metal build
yeah, those are G-System thrusters.
Yeah, of course you can't see them because the camera's too dark. For some reason. There we go. You can sort of see that. Like, we can see it fine. For some reason, it's not coming up on camera. The final details probably look pretty good. I like the decals on it. They look clean.
Yeah,
they don't.
Slides.
Yeah, and they just blend in perfectly. But that, of course, is down to your skill.
Of the company, it's a China company that did the water slides. But to be honest, I really like those water slides.
Yeah, they actually look phenomenal.
They look good. They come off real easy. Not off the model, but like on the paper.
Yeah.
Cut it out. And
not having to.
The Bandai ones it works faster if you use warm water. Yada.
Yeah,
but these cold, it didn't matter what water you put it in there, and within a split second they were ready to go.
Yeah,
and
that's actually
really
pretty awesome.
Amazed at that.
All right, so before we get too far into getting details on it, let's look at some of the loose accessories this guy comes with. First and foremost, you have the standard little dual-ended beam trident, and at a glance, it looks just like the factory one. Just looks like the straight-up Bandai one, but as we were analyzing it a few minutes ago, it's actually not. Because, of course, I have mine right here. And, just at a glance, obviously they definitely molded the beam effect. But as you can see, we have a difference right there at the very tip. Now, I'm wondering... No? Okay, I was looking at the regular Shenlong, and it doesn't. So he added just this little bit right there. Otherwise, it's almost exactly the same mold, maybe trimmed up just a little bit. And then, of course, the handle, and this is something we didn't even realize, if you line up the ends, it's actually a bit longer. Like right down there, if it will focus on the right thing. It's just a hair longer. And the actual lengths of the handle change, because right here in the center section, which the Bandai one is meant to hold in the middle, this one is meant to hold at one end. You can see the difference in the hand pegs. So it's actually meant to have more of a forward thrusting maneuver, which frankly I wish the Bandai had that. It would look a lot better. Although your beam effects are just factory. But I know you're not using this. Obviously, you're going with the really badass custom trident right there, which we can pull that off and take a look at it, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now I wanted to see if this would work. See how this would look. Assume it clips on the same way. Yep, it does. You don't even remember. I built it so long ago, I can't remember. I wanted to see how
I don't mess with.
See how that would look. Yeah, it's not too bad on yours. I got to toot my own horn just a little. He's like, this is all your like really nice fancy work here. And yeah, guys, I tried to tell him to slow down and just do a straight build first so we could do a real comparison, but no, somebody had to go to the 9s from the get-go. All right. Oh, and before we go too far, we have an obvious huge accessory that comes with this guy. Well, sort of comes with it. You got this amazing stand, and it's actually a really good copy of the Bandai flight stand, not just the standard action base. Mm-hmm. But you got the nice Nataku wing, all this stuff down here. You got the really nice thing there. But realistically, this didn't come with this one. This came with
came with the first runs.
Yeah. So if you saw his review, which hopefully any of y'all did, yeah, that base came with the first run. But because he's building this more or less on commission base for the company, they gave him the base to go with it to really show off what you get.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's actually pretty good.
They sent me the Sandrock to do next, and that's
the
first run Sandrocks included the Nataku base.
Oh, nice. Does feel a little cheap. But the glossy factor of it's actually pretty good. The funny thing is you're getting a lot of green reflection up on it. It makes it look like it has some weird overspray going on. I like it. I wish it had a little bit more base, and I kind of wish you could tag them together with the other ones. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, if they had a way to integrate it.
Yeah, that's one thing of course I like about it. These guys have seen it. My my action bases, how they all kind of try to come together. All right, so one thing this guy comes with that the Bandai doesn't necessarily come with is a buttload of hands. Tons and tons of different finger options. I just happen to pick up the same ones here. So you've got the basic kind of holding hand. I wasn't even on camera, was I? So let's say all that again. No, I'm just kidding. So you get the basic type of holding hands, but of course, this dude actually filed down the fingers into an awesome claw. Actually, really do dig that. You get... I gotta dig through... Legitimately, there is a pile of hands here, guys. You get these open splayed claw hands, which I like these nice expressive ones.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And that's your left, that's your right. Yeah, I guess realistically, you could totally put that on your left hand with the shield. Of course, you did a really good job with the drive rushing and stuff like that. Looks really good. I want to know at what level you get to do this with your custom hands. I mean, jeez. He either made these from scratch or took one and then like made just the fingertips and glued them on. Because you got to think, guys, somebody customized this more or less, and then this company. What's the company? Oh, yeah, SuperNova.
Yeah.
I had a brain fart there for a second. SuperNova actually had to go in and cast the parts that somebody had actually made, make runners and all that. And here's your basic fists. Those are pretty good. And a little bit of paint gooage right there, but no big deal.
Actually, I think it was magic wash.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna pick on you.
Is that on the back side of it?
Yeah, it's on the back. It doesn't even matter. It's like right there. Yeah, it's on the back. It's on the back side. It'll be behind the thing. But that looks pretty good. Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like you had the handguard on when you did it, which is not a big deal. Okay, and we get. Hey guys, guess what? More hands. I don't even know what's
the martial arts.
It's the he's trying to do the burning finger. I guess I don't know what he's got going on here. These are probably the more ridiculous ones, but also kind of add to the dragonness of it. I would think. Like, just a little bit. I mean, they're cool. Now, I guess we hadn't tried this. We didn't even think about the fact, will these fit on the official?
That's a good question.
Oh, we could try. I'm going to go ahead and break that while I'm doing that. That's just gone. That's just gone. We're not going to bother. Okay, let me see if I can pull his hand off. Alright, so we got the official guy here. Don't lose that part. Let's see. I also got the camera aiming up high. That's why I'm confused. Maybe that actually looks a little too fat. Yeah. So I'm guessing that's not for that hand. It's probably that one. Yeah. That's ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. That is ridiculous. Even these won't do it. Yeah. All the pegs are too big. Every one of them. Okay. So there's no crossover there. So you're not gonna be able to use some third-party parts on your first-party Gundam. So sad face for everybody out there. Cry. But I know somebody was going to ask. There's going to be that one person who's like, hey, you know how I built one of these things and I don't know how the heck to go.
Somebody asked me that one of my whip posts.
Yep.
Will this fit the Bandai? Will this?
I bet there's got to be some part integration, but you know, we don't know the percentage of how things were altered internally. Mm-hmm. If we had gotten to see this in its bare coverage, maybe. All right, let me get all these hands out of the way so I can actually find. There's legitimately like a like SH Figure Arts level amount of crap that comes with this thing. All right, you get the really bad crotch stand. Apparently, it doesn't even fit really.
It fits on, it does good, but once you start putting, if it was just the mobile suit,
yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start putting the Dragon Fangs on, the difference in the weight,
it just wants to shift
you
over.
You bump it and it falls right off.
So he actually has one of the basic clear crotch forks.
Yeah.
And then that is a shoulder adapter, or shield adapter for the backpack. So that's pretty cool. So,
actually, and I think you can actually use that in the... no, maybe not.
What?
I was thinking maybe you could stick it on the back and then mount the backpack on, or the shield on the back, but no, I don't.
No, maybe not.
Looking at, that's why I glanced at that piece down
there.
there.
Yeah.
The green piece.
Okay, so you got the little filler piece right there on the backpack. Even the official one comes with that too.
Yep.
It's a little bitty turtle shell. Or Baymax face. Okay, yeah, we got to make sure everything falls on the table, because we lose any tiny parts, it's over. All right, and you got a little bitty tiny filler parts for where the Dragon Fangs plug in. That's pretty neat. I like that. Those will go. Let's compare just right quick. So these will go right in there. So you can see. Obviously, that's not going to work on here because those aren't separate pieces. But actually, I forgot I had painted those yellow. All right, so let's put all these little thingies away before we lose them, because my luck is just going to fall on the floor and we're never going to find it. Put it in the baggie. Get the baggie! Alright, now we got most of the accessories out of the way. We can pull this guy in a little bit. Can I take the...
Yeah, go for it.
Take the staff out of the hand here? Is it just friction, or is it
pull the thumb out of the way.
I can't see what I'm doing. That doesn't help. The thumb is really stiff.
Yeah.
Your Dragon Fangs are in the way. Come on. I always hate the thumbs on these guys. It's almost like it's sunk into the paint on it a little bit. Oh, that's why the freaking pointiness of the thumb is actually rendering it.
Yeah, you gotta like pull it out a little bit and slide it down to where it's pointing down. And then
I didn't like that noise.
It'll be alright.
Okay.
It's really, really tight.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And I am recording all this. There we go. Okay. Good lord. That is scary, man. That's a pretty cool shot there. Hold on, I'll get a refocus. Picture. That actually would be a good screenshot. We'll keep that in mind. Okay. So now that I've got that, I'm going to take a closer look at this. I said we were done with accessories. I lied. So this is the custom trident. The funny thing is it looks like an arrow more than a trident. It looks like a very fancy hunting arrow. Because it's even got the side blades and all that. I mean, this thing is really, really cool. Although, if you look at it, that is... almost. It's still the same as the other one. So he did actually make two of these handles, realistically. Because we were analyzing it, guys, while we had a slight break there for a second, and we found a lot of similarities. But I want to know where he got these parts. Was it all just a scratch build? Which it could be. Did these come off? The actual blades? Like those, the beams would have?
Off, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do it, but I just wanted to know. But yeah, it almost looks like he had a green arrow fetish. Like, this actually looks like the green arrow type arrows.
I will tell you, be careful, because you will
They are
blood with
stupid pointy, guys. Like, right there, that is a, like, scorpion tail. That is ridiculous. So, guys, this is not for your little kids to be around, by any means, because this could really do some harm. But hey, if the only thing you have nearby, if an intruder comes in your house, is your GUNPLA kit, you could probably at least...
at least take an eye out.
You could take an eye out, at least. But that looks pretty good. Of course, I like your weathering on everything. It looks pretty neat. Though it was hell to get it out of the hand. So that's the curved... That's the kind of curved hand like that. So that actually made it a little more difficult, but that's okay. So we're going to set this aside carefully over here. And we're only going to continue to knock crap off the Shenlong. This is the problem with having a review desk where all your stuff has to live on the desk. Alright, so we're going to take him off the base very carefully. I assume it just comes straight up.
Yep.
That is a snug fit. And yes, that does adjust just like the Bandai one does. Which you actually didn't even know Bandai made those.
Yeah, I hadn't seen one.
There you go. Okay. And we're going to very carefully... He's Supermaning right now. Yay! Very carefully move down the legs. Bend at the knee. This is the only way we're really going to get a side-by-side comparison is to actually get him standing. Of course, with the Dragon Fangs, it's going to be a little difficult. See, I think he, like, borrowed some feet from another kit. I mean, a lot of it, the upper part, no, maybe it's just the upper part here.
It.
Yeah, he did. Just this nose. The rest of it does look on the sides. Well, like we're sitting here talking about it because we can see both kits together. That was like a really soft landing. Now it just looks like he's doing a hero punch.
I don't think I tried to stand it with the Dragon Fangs on.
Well, we're gonna see if it'll work. This is the test.
Oh, look at that!
Look at that.
Look at
It's only because I did it. You did it; it would fall over.
Probably.
Now I said that, it's just gonna topple. But actually, that's a pretty cool pose. If the thumb could be pointing up, he's like, yeah.
I'm standing.
Very, very careful. Even the thumb, the fingers can hurt you. Like, those things are
sharp.
Janky pointy. I am honestly surprised at standing, considering that these things are so, like, self-thing. Now, just to point it out, because I know somebody's going to be like, hey, did you glue those like that? Did you glue those like that?
Nope.
They're just being held up by friction, right?
Yep, just the friction.
Which is something that the Bandai cannot do. Okay, torso, you're going to rotate very carefully, right? You're going to be good? You're going to be good? You're going to be good. Thank you. That is stiff. And yes, for everybody who says, see, Shoki, if you paint your kits, it gets stiffer. I am aware of that. Jeez. Well, you always got to be like that, guys.
But
yeah,
this kit was... I built the inner frame first because I wanted to see how stiff the joints were going to be because, you know, painting makes it even worse.
Yep.
And they were so stiff that I didn't want to paint like I normally paint, which is piece by piece as I go.
Yeah.
I actually built the whole inner frame, took it apart in sections, and then painted it because I didn't want to.
Yeah, you didn't want to disassemble it too much. Was this the one that had a busted shoulder? Or was that
yes,
okay.
This is the one.
Is it the left shoulder?
The one with the shield.
That would be the left shoulder.
Well,
it's the left of it.
Military left, yeah.
Yeah, it's the military left. Stage left.
Yeah. So if you grab it and like rotate them, you'll see.
I know. I felt the difference when I did it. That's why I was being very careful. Plus, on mine, the shoulders are one of the weaker parts because they get so stiff. If you guys have seen that I've had breakage a lot with the joints on my wing kits over the years. But this thing does look pretty good. And actually, you know what's funny? It's propped up by that one. It's actually touching the ground. That's funny. And they do plug into the back. Just ball joints, or
just kind of give it a little wiggle and they pull right out. It's an insert like those.
Oh, I see.
Plugs.
Oh, that's actually a neat idea. I'm amazed that this is heavy. That is super heavy. That is actually a very dense plastic in comparison to the Bandai, which normally I wouldn't say that. Normally Bandai uses a good hefty plastic, but I mean, combined with the weight of the paint and everything, I know most people don't think about it. Paint weighs something. Especially when you get into layers upon layers. Now, will he stand on his own? That's the important thing. Alright, so I'm going to move this one out of my way. Carefully over here. He's just going to look like he's going to be bit by his own thing. Let's take a look at this Dragon Fang up close, because that is ridiculous. And this is, like I said before, this is like the main draw of this kit. People really wanted the dragon-looking Dragon Fangs.
Yeah.
While it's not screen accurate at all, let's be honest here,
it
it does look incredibly good. But as we were discussing, what he really did was fuse the two different style of Dragon Fangs.
Yeah.
And this is one of the times where we can actually compare, because I have both of the originals on hand. So, if we look at it, so here's, of course, the Bandai version.
This right here.
Yep.
It's not as...
Stay. And one thing I don't think this one can do is just, like, close completely, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see how it works. The ball jump. Ooh, that made it odd. That made a noise.
It's just because the paint and the tightness.
Yeah, no, that was the crest that made that sound. That wasn't the jaws. Okay. Are you playing with that one? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to close it up for you. Make
There you go.
That way you got one open. You got
yeah,
one.
There we go. That helps. Do things in the background for me. Okay. And TV magic. We already have one done. There we go. You pull it out of the oven just like this. Okay. So you can see the major difference here. Although you'll see the definite similarities because it's obviously molded from at least half of this. So you've got the whole forearm part right here, that all of this is clearly the same. Even the quote-unquote fake cockpity looking part right in there with the eyes is exactly the same. You even get the mouthpieces right here that are right here. However, what he did for the rest of it, obviously the guy who customized this borrowed from the original Shenlong Dragon Fang. And you had never seen this, so you didn't even know.
I've never seen that.
So this is the... If I can get it off properly. This one, honestly, has given me more problems than any of them. Doesn't function properly. And I think it's because the paint eats away at the plastic and weakens the joints and stuff.
And after seeing
that... I was pulling that wrong. That's what she said.
I want to say he almost cut this and molded it to the back of that. Because the original has the guns. And of course this.
Well, he's stuck. Well, you can see it more or less from underneath. You can see the difference. So it's the core of this, like you were saying, and he mounted, like you just said, that on top for the most part, and then molded in. So for those who are also going to question, yes, these can attach to the arms directly, but in a different way than that does. Because actually, it's probably closer to what that one does versus this, because this has the fold down side one. This pegs in this way. But also he added these custom joints, these huge ball joints, which no clue where that system came from. That can't be scratch built.
It's like a miniature version.
It is. It's the exact same joint as the arms. Actually, give me the piece that's not connected to anything. Make my life easy. I'm so demanding on camera. And I mean, he did an amazing job molding it together, to be honest. So, yeah, basically you get this same ball and socket joint that came off of this. That's this entire section. This had to have come from something. It's got to be something that uses these. And it's definitely not a Bandai kit. But even the ball joint area here for the hinge this is totally different. Because this hinges out sideways.
Yeah.
But the bottom teeth, as we were just trying to look at a second ago, that'll fold down. You get the bottom jaw, so this thing goes full Predator. It really does. Is the top teeth from this guy. Just like that. Focus, thank you. It's having a hard time focusing between the two. And then you also get the mouth part, which is the mouth part on this one. So that's actually really neat. I like the dissecting of this. I mean, even look, they even have the hole in the top. But he added that little bit of that horn. But as we were just looking at it, this whole bit up here is just the top of this modified, but still, it's the same thing. So he literally took the two types of dragon fangs, fused them into one perfect dragon fang, I guess. And I really do dig that. I mean, it's a really neat concept. Although I'm not a huge fan of the ball joint system for it, it does look really good. And of course, you did a fantastic job painting it.
I just noticed a difference too in the depth of these panels, as opposed to the.
Oh yeah, I definitely trimmed it down. Yeah. This is nowhere near as robust.
Probably had some weight issues and had to shave off some.
Maybe, or just wanted, or he wanted sharper lines. Yeah. Probably, because even look at this area. This is swooping. This is hard. That's a hard line there. So maybe it could be that he took the same idea and scratched it down. You know. Hold on. You know what? It's just attached to the arm. Why am I doing it the hard way? Oh, that's right. It's like really attached to the arm. I forgot. Just take the whole arm off. That helps.
That even attaches different.
Yeah, no, this is actually pinned to the forearm, so it doesn't plug in. However, you can do it that way. Let me detach this because you haven't seen this either. I really hate how tight that polycap is, but you can see here that it has a different plug for the stand. So whereas these with friction can hold themselves up, you also do get the clear plastic sand plugs, which you didn't bring, I don't believe.
No, I didn't.
So it has a little circular peg there, very similar to the way this one works. Whereas the old guy, this one, doesn't have anything because it's not meant to do that. So it's a very, very nice fusion. Oh, what's funny, look, this is thicker than that one. The heck? That doesn't even make sense unless they made something brand new. I don't know. But that's clearly what the design is from. Because it's even got the same vertical fin, just really, really trimmed down. And the chain system for the tail is significantly better. Because obviously this, without something to really thicken it up, is never going to hold anything up. But it is accurate. Also, the way this one functions on screen is the same. So these were always attached to his hands. Yeah. And of course you get the magic elongatedness that happens, whereas those are just ridiculously elongated to begin with. Alright, so we wanted to take a closer look and see where this guy was really different from the official. And right off the bat, you guys can see there's a significant height difference. Now, we were talking about it off camera because we don't know exactly where the differences will be. I'm being very gentle here. Hold and then turn. Yeah, because I can feel the difference in that shoulder trying to...
And it's not.
I'm not even gonna try pushing that down. It's too stiff. Okay, so obviously he did something. Whoever built, designed, customized, whatever, clearly elongated the torso and then altered the way all these side plates look. Because you can see right in there, that's a harsh angle right there in that center green part, versus this where it sits directly on top of it. And a lot of people have complained that realistically they look a little bit like stubby from the factory, you know. And I like it, but it almost has that IBO, like, really skinny torso feel.
Yeah, they elongated.
And it's not terrible by any means. But he's got to have done something in the legs.
See, I was thinking more like, to me, the more slender looks are like the 00 series.
Yeah, definitely. They don't have it.
Pop a leg off.
See, that's why I'm always scared. I mean, we know the legs are longer, for sure. They've got to be.
Let's see, he's even changed. Oh, no, yes, it doesn't. That back peg.
Yeah. This is what we should have done from the beginning, was literally pull it apart. Oh, wow.
Are they the same? Maybe
there's no way. They're exactly the same. They're
just a hair on this part right
it's
here.
Yeah, the polycap itself is definitely higher. It's up here. What he did is altered the armor enough. Yeah, the armor is chopped down slightly to accommodate the height. Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it is legitimately only
just a hair taller.
Couple millimeters taller. Yeah. But I mean, in this scale, of course, that makes a huge difference. So that's added to the ankle for sure, and the middle of the leg.
Maybe a little bit in the...
So I want to pull... It's got to be up here. It's got to...
Either that or up in here, too. Up in the... like the actual...
No, I doubt the hips themselves are any higher.
You think?
But I mean, that would be a good way to build up the base, but that wouldn't make any difference. No, that would make the armor look funky. Because the armor wouldn't fit properly if it was all in there. Because look, if you line up the armors, look, the calf armor and the ankle armor does line up. Exactly. That's weird. If you line the armors up at the same height.
Yeah, it's got to be something internal with the frame that he...
Yeah, it's like where, because if you look at the legs, you look at the knees. Obviously, the knee armor is totally gapped differently, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but if you look at okay, so we're going top to top, angle to angle, right there. Here's this. There's almost no difference height wise. So where is the difference? I mean, you can see the feet. The feet are taller. For sure.
You can see the space between the right here.
But I'm wondering if that's just modifying the armor.
No, the armor's the same size. At least from my angle, it's the difference in the...
I mean, he would have had to...
frame, the knees.
Well, let's look at it this way. Yeah, there's no difference. I mean, actually, build quality-wise, there's a difference there. Because it's not quite squeezed together the same way. But there doesn't appear to be a difference there, though, actually, where the armor sits. Look at the armor. The armor doesn't sit on the leg the same way. Look, this one's sitting directly on it. This one's... But that wouldn't have more exposure. That doesn't make any sense. That's weird. Because, like, the modifications to the armor clearly show off a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
That's an obvious difference. Well, here, since we have it exposed. Ah, see, look. You can't even pull the leg back the same distance. But look how far this one goes. That's a definite difference.
Well, that one's not down all the way either.
It can't go any further. It's already rubbing on the armor. Yeah, look, it's rubbing on the frame. It physically can't go back any further.
It does in the frame. When I had it in the frame, you could bend it all the way back.
Yeah. So look, that we were right. The armor is sitting lower.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this, look, it's completely different. If I angle it the same way, look, it doesn't even come out of the armor the same amount. So there's a different. This part right here in the thigh is a definite difference. And of course, he modified that for sure. Well, there's we can actually. No, look, it's the same. It was just an optical illusion. It's the same size. It's just this being carved away makes it look a lot different. But here to here is the same size. That's crazy. So whatever he did to the thighs, that's where a lot of that height difference is coming from, and it's got to be the position, and the ankle is definitely, there's something different in the ankle.
Well, there's a bigger gap when you look at the front.
Yeah, but I'm looking at just down here. Oh, let's look at just the foot armor. Well, just see if I can get a foot off without breaking anything. The feet never want to come off. Okay, so there's a.
This is hard to get in.
See if I can do it. I don't want to pull it off up here. Come on, ball joint. Come on, ball joint. Please don't break. Please don't break. Please don't break. See, the thing is, when the ball joint's coming out, the armor is separating.
Mm-hmm.
That bothers me. Okay. Yeah, we're literally going to dissect this thing. We didn't mean for this part of the video to be longer, but now it is. Okay, so flat-footed.
That looks the same from here.
It's touching the ground at the same height. So the foot's not any taller. The armor's not any taller. So it's not in the foot. It don't matter. Nobody's paying attention at this point anyways. This is exactly the same.
Yeah.
You can see it. It's molded even exactly the same on the inside. Where the heck? It's taller somewhere. I mean, without pulling all the armor off, there's a definite difference somewhere in there. But we've dissected it to death. So obviously there's changes that we can't see. But there's definitely an optical illusion happening, which I guess is part of what makes it a great custom. You know, there's something going on there. That even though, if I built this one, I would tell you the difference. Because I built the both. I'd be like, okay, this is definitely different. So if it's not in the foot, maybe it's the upper part of the ankle. No, because I showed the calf and the ankle armor is exactly the same distance. The knees are exactly the same distance. All right, let's go one more time. Plant the feet. Line up the ankles. My heel's not down all the way. There we go.
It's just a couple.
It doesn't make any sense. How,
I mean,
if you line it up one way, it doesn't make sense that it doesn't line up the other way. Though I think part of it is like which one's leaning which way right now. It just looks taller. I mean, it's got to all be thigh.
I'm looking at is this.
Yeah, the top of the thigh is higher to there.
Well,
yeah.
Not even not the armor piece, but this actual.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. It's just.
It might only be up here, and then the armor is different. Like, you probably scratch built some of the armor. It's not the same exact armor. Because obviously he's added a whole lot of detail to it and did a lot of cutting out. So, and that's the same, but also this armor looks smaller. I don't know. Something's going on to where this is sitting higher. So he's actually physically raised that up. That's about the only difference we can physically see. Unless we could perfectly line everything up, it makes no sense that it's a different height. Because this one sits higher, but also could be a polycap difference.
Yeah.
Making the ankles just a little bit taller.
I see
Okay.
a few differences in the front of the armor too.
Oh, yeah, the armor is definitely different. So you've got this little cutout is different right through there.
Well, even on the legs, the added.
Mhm.
Originally, I guess the original.
This part is,
designer
yeah.
Added claw plate and.
Yeah, he definitely cut that down right there, which you've got room to do. You've got a little, that little detail bit right there. That is pointy, by the way. It's like jamming into my finger. Just made a notch right there. It's amazing that just doing a little bit of etching and a little bit of notching makes such a difference. Same thing right there at the knee. I don't know why we started at the legs. That's just funny.
And the lower part of the knee.
Yeah, we started at the bottom instead of the top. We don't know how things go around here. It's hard to... We need just to take the legs off. This is different. That's a nice little new piece, along with the cutout from the armor. And then you also have these little bumps on the actual legs, plus the notches. And on the feet, you got the notch there, no notch there, and the whole elongated toe, and a little extra side part on the side of the foot. And there's a bit more details there too, but
on the heel too. Like
yeah, the heel has that part. Like, this is very plain. This has a lot of extra bits. I do like that. This is the bottom of the feet. Let's see if we went that far. No, look, he even made the extension. Look.
Yeah.
The toes are just longer. But then he also got rid of some of the notches. That's weird. I still wonder if those are feet off a different kit. Like the front part. We'd have to dig through the rest of them to see. Let's go back up to the crotch because that's where we left off. You also got a little cutout right there. That's a difference. And then the etching up here. Though, of course, having SuperNova go over it and probably fine-tune it all probably made a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Actual detail-wise up here, you get these extra parts just right in there, along with all the extra etching along there. I really do like that look. Though, of course, guys, what you're seeing there is a major difference in color. So you've got the red and yellow over here, and this is the green and yellow. So that's actually inspired by the regular Shenlong stay, which, of course, I have handy. Which, he looks even taller than Shenlong, which makes no sense. Am I the only one who notices that? He looks even taller? So, obviously, he takes a lot of inspiration from the Shenlong directly, and actually the red does look pretty good. I actually kind of dig that. You can see the differences there. I'm almost surprised he didn't do the red right here. Looks pretty good. And, yeah, this version does use the shield, and it looks, with the exception of some etching detail, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just some etching detail.
Added panel lines.
Yep, added the panel lines. And
a little different layering too. Like up in here, like originally they added claw plate.
Oh yeah.
Designs around here.
Either that or he shaved it down.
Because that's he probably added some claw plate, some thin claw plate to mold it to keep the shape, and then went from there.
Yeah. It's hard to tell if it's built up or carved down. Because trying to add... I mean, he could go either way with it, realistically. Yeah. That's what I said. It's just looking at it this way, because we didn't see his process. It's like, which way did it actually go? I mean, it does look cool. I like the shield. Because I don't recall if he gets the shield or not. I'd have to go back and watch my own review. Alright, so let's go back to the other one. Actually, the funny thing is details are easier to see on that because it's mostly white. The obvious difference on the forearms versus... this one is integrated into the arm. This one has the peg hole for it instead. And of course you get the new panel lines added in there. Not a huge difference realistically. He actually accented that a little bit harder. Maybe that's just your assembly where it's got the bigger gap there. That could go one way or the other.
Probably moving it probably came loose a little bit.
The back of the hand has way more detail. We've already talked about the hands themselves being way more detailed. Oh, look, he even had this little built-out part.
Yeah.
So that's different. That's cool.
Bicep there.
Bicep is all different. All right, now the shoulders, of course, are fairly well different. While the armor itself is very similar, it is definitely cut out. You lost that whole chunk there. Wow, that just completely lost focus for no reason. So lost that whole bit. You actually got this whole bit that now lifts up and exposes the inner frame, which looks cool. You know, it gives it that very angular and very, very different looking. Trying to see under the arm. So I would love to see a stripped down version of this. Actually, look at the frame. turn. Either my hands aren't working or it's being difficult. One or the other. Okay, because a lot of people aren't going to focus on the backside. Backside's very important here. Alright, so... Wow, much longer back skirt for sure. And angled differently. So this one's more of a straight down angle. That one's kind of a straight out angle. Either that or my hips are funky. No, that can't be the hips that are that out of whack. Back skirt's definitely etched and carved out. Yeah, that's carved out right there on the butt. I like the dual layered color look. That actually it adds to the dragon effect for sure. So he added what basically is a lot of dragon scales.
Yeah.
And it looks good. So you get the same overall basic shape, but all the extra etched detail in there. And the backpack is, well, virtually the same, with the exception of the cutouts. And, of course, your use of the different thrusters. But otherwise, the backpack is almost identical. You get this little bump out, and that's exactly the same. That's probably almost identical to the normal one. And then, of course, those differences there, but otherwise the same. The back of the head is exactly the same. No, just kidding. This one actually has a seam line, which is interesting. Uses green cameras, but was that you or is that it that had the green camera?
It's clear green.
Yeah, okay, so that is a difference. So this one went with gold. The backs of your ears are interesting. Same stupid fingers fell off.
And that falls apart again.
It's the same fingers. You know, if you added paint to it, yeah, I hear you. Oh, that looks a little creepy. He's like, hey. Okay, so we have some significant differences up top here. And I didn't even realize at first the big spikes coming out here where it's the toe hooks here.
Yeah, that was one thing I really
That's what I call them, toe hooks. Wow, his face is always shrouded. Like, get in the light. This is where a taller camera would be great in this case.
Now, there have been people that have complained that some people think it's got an elongated neck.
No. It's about the same.
You know, that's just
if you look at
asking me, did you do something did you shorten the giraffe neck? Blah blah blah. I was like, no, I didn't do nothing.
No, the neck is. I think the neck is exactly the same. I think what it is the back of the head is shaved up. Just looking at it, it looks like the back of the head is trimmed just a little bit, but you have the little parts that come out from under the sides of the cheeks. Those are the same. However, you have a very elongated, pointy chin on this guy. I think the head is like the least amount of detail change. Like maybe a little bit of extra etch work. The V-fin is changed ever so slightly.
It's all one piece on the kit.
Yeah, the head crest is definitely carved out and differently. Very flame looking, very lizard and dragon looking. And seriously, the back skirts are poking the crap out of my finger.
Oh, they're sharp, man.
They are sharp. The side skirts, we didn't look at the side skirts, but they are different. In the same way that they're different as everything else. Carved out a lot better. I was watching it happen. Boof. He just punched it right off of him. Hey, but hey, that gives us more detail we can see. Look, we would not have known that was different inside there. The armpit is different. Looks like it's some glop in there, too. I mean, it's just your weathering, but it like glopped in the corner. It's all good. And actually, that might give us a little bit of exposed part of the torso, too. So I can see what's going on. That's why I would love to actually see a bare version. See, maybe, like, have you, on your Sandrock, have you gotten too far into building it, or is it just bare frame still?
It's bare frame still drying.
Okay, so what we might do on the next one, I'll take pictures, like just assemble the frame bare and just stand it up, and we'll see the differences. I'll finish mine in the same manner once I start it, and we can see if there's a significant frame difference. So this guy does look pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like this one, but it's obviously not meant to be an over-exaggerated version of itself. This would be something like I would consider like this is like an IDW version of a Gundam. You know, it's very stylized, and it looks awesome. So, what? It's the worst hand ever. I hate these hands. I thought I hated Age hands or 00 hands, but like compared to the way this one is, like this one just looks very short and frumpy. Like it's just, hi, I'm a green Gundam. Basically what it looks like. Like, I mean, I still like the concept of I like this one's version of the Dragon Fangs. I just like how they mount on the arm and stuff. Plus, I like the cleanliness of it. I like how these just kind of pull out. But maybe it's just the kind of purist a little bit. You know, I want it to look like it looked like in the movie. Not that these things aren't awesome. Got a big pile of parts. They're stuck together, and it does feel fragile. I doubt it's going to break very easily, but it does feel fragile, you know. This is clearly, like, just going to eat the crap out of that. That's not a problem. And I actually do... I don't like the design of it, like the way it looks, but I like the mechanics of these arms. Like, I like the way this works. I like it, but I just don't like the way it looks, you know. That's my only criticism about that. I don't like the way it looks. This is just a little too busy for me, but I know a lot of people who will definitely... appreciate it.
Yeah, people that have come in and seen me working on it while I've been working on it, you know, having it up at the shop, and
yep.
Wing fans that have come in from next door at DNA, they would, you know, oh man, that's aggressive as hell. That's
it is
kind of what I like.
It is definitely aggressive. That's definitely the word for it. Let's see here. So those tuck away nicely. I don't. This part scares me. Just with the way the ball joints are, like trying to want to rotate these and get them into that compressed position, frightens me a bit. Yeah,
you just got to grab it and just.
Yeah, that's why it scares me.
Because, well, I painted them.
Yeah.
You know, kind of together. That way, I wouldn't have to fight the paint. Mm-hmm. But they are still, the joints are stiff.
Yeah, part of me thinks this was a foot joint of some sort. Because it's not even remotely the same as this. And also, he had to carve that out. Look. Mm-hmm. Then again, no, it's not the same as that. I gotta wonder where he got that, because that would be an incredibly hard thing to manufacture right there. Where the rest of this would be a lot of creative sanding and building up. Trying to actually make this from something seems like it'd be really difficult. It almost looks like this may have been a part of something else, because were these two pieces?
Yeah.
See, that's weird, because this is all its own thing. But clearly this is more or less based off of these. Mm-hmm. But it's not even constructed remotely the same. Mm-mm. I mean, could we really assume that he made his own, like from scratch? It looks a little too. It looks a little too good to have been absolutely made from scratch.
The lines are different too.
Yeah.
The panel lines are completely different.
Yeah. I mean, this is like trying to analyze it to death, but I mean, this is cool. I maybe don't like the over stylized part of this.
Yeah, because even this back piece here is elongated from the...
It's elongated and just slightly reshaped. Yeah. But even this ridge right here, either that or this is pulled more forward.
I think that this whole lighter green piece is a version of the other one.
Yeah, it definitely lifted off the other one.
That he's cut and...
For sure. I mean, you can see it.
Modified to fit.
I mean, you can see that is exactly what that is. I mean, you can overlap it.
Is the wings right here, but
it's stretched out. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of work. I mean, there's probably a whole lot of scratch building and borrowing parts, for sure. And that is crooked.
Yeah,
look, it's not even
move when you start messing with them.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Okay. I mean, it looks awesome. I'm frightened by it. I mean, it's not necessarily for me, but of course, people absolutely do love this design. Like I said, I'm a wing purist. I like this. I like the kit. I like the actual Gundam itself. I like the work done on that. Mm-hmm. I like the extra engineering that went into that. I wouldn't mind getting a body that was just like, or very, very similar to that, maybe one or two things less. But, you know, for my money, actually, not, I guess literally for my money, I went with this one. Of course, this one was this one first or this one? This one had to have been first if there's parts to it available on this. Mm. Alright guys, we're going into final thoughts here because otherwise we're going to dissect this thing all day. And this has already gone longer than we anticipated. But so that's pretty much it for the SuperNova Altron done by Mr. Inked Gunpla over here. And so this is more or less a builder showcase / Master Grade Monday. Because obviously you're showing off your amazing painting skills and stuff like that, which of course I need to learn a lot from you. But thanks for bringing it over. I know we've been trying to get this together for like
it was 4 weeks. It really
yeah,
was.
I mean,
especially when you have both of those together with all three kits that we can see where ideas were taken from what.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that, you know, you've got borrowed stuff not just from Altron, but also from Shenlong, you know? It's a big difference. And the funny thing is, like, the subtle differences. The length of the friggin' staff, you know? It's such a subtle difference. You know, and and guys, this is because this was more or less someone's custom at one point in time. It really does show you how, like, a minuscule little thing can make all the difference in the world. Tiny little details, adding new panel lines. You know, even like I was trying to show off, just that little bit of a nub added right there. It makes a difference. You know, forget the ability to weather and paint and airbrush and stuff like that. Sometimes even just doing simple little etching stuff like that can make a huge difference. Even scratch building a ridiculous weapon like that, you know? So, I mean, one thing is, hopefully this can inspire some people to work on their own customs.
Yeah.
But also, you know, this is the first time we're looking at a non-official kit. You know, a lot of people ask my opinion on third-party kits and stuff like that. And so, like, I'm fine with third-party stuff as long as you're inventing your own thing.
Yeah.
And this, as we've already really looked at, it has a lot of borrowed material because you had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not a rip-off of Bandai. Like, obviously, the Bandai is what it is, and this takes what Bandai did and takes it to a new level.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I am too. Like I said, it's not a bootleg.
Yeah,
to me, it's not a bootleg.
It's not a straight bootleg. While we've already discovered the frame and all that is essentially identical, a lot of the armor is identical, but the work that someone put into it to not make it exactly the same thing that Bandai originally made, that's what makes this different. And God knows where all these parts came from, because it had to come from something that is very snake-like and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm. Excuse me.
Yep,
that's why I'm perfectly fine with third party. I don't want to get into bootlegs. Bandai should definitely get their money. Yeah. And their credit.
And I guess realistically, the first go around Bandai got their money on this one.
Yeah.
From the guy who bought all the kits to Kit Bash, because as we've seen, it's both a scratch and Kit Bash.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. Yeah, I do like the fact that they were very ingenious in their engineering. Whoever did this, whoever you are, we bow down, because this is what
my mind's still blown. Because once we brought
once you see the original Shenlong,
then it was like, oh damn, look, he got it from this and this and this.
Yeah, it's a great kit and really affordable in comparison.
Yeah,
it's not P Bandai money.
I want to say, what do these go for? About 35.
I guess technically neither of us has bought one.
Yeah, technically. Well, on the website when I was looking at it, I want to say it was like $35, but the shipping is what
the shipping is going to get you, because it is in
coming from China.
China, so hopefully SuperNova continues to put out good stuff. You've got the Sandrock already, which is also a very stark departure from the regular Sandrock custom, which we will be doing. We will do the comparison eventually down the line, because now I've essentially bought myself another week. By doing this review, I bought myself another week to build a Sandrock. So whereas we saw the unboxing already over there. And guys, if you're not already following Mitchell on his channel, on his Instagram, and on his Facebook, go do that. I know a lot of you guys see his stuff in the Facebook groups and stuff like that. But go check him out. And of course, if you really wanted to get one of these kits, we'll definitely push his sponsor for that.
GK Gundam kit.
GK Gundam. Hopefully it will be like already somewhere on the screen throughout this video, because technically we're kind of doing him a favor. We're doing them a slight favor on this one. This is non-spawn for me, but it's sponsored. I'm a third-party sponsored person at this point.
Yeah, because they didn't ask us to do this. They didn't ask me to do a comparison. It's just something that we kind of
we said we're here. So realistically, they're not sponsoring my video, but they sponsored it for him, and I'm just gonna piggyback on that. I'm not getting anything for this other than the views that you guys are gonna have on here. But he's getting the representation on my channel for it. So. It's all good. We can do it that way. I don't care.
Fun to hang out with.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Nerd out on some stuff.
Yeah, he got to check out the Shoki Cave, and he would not stop looking at everything.
Oh man, I want to dry hump everything.
Yeah, I was like, dude, come on, we gotta get to work. It's like, hold on, I gotta look at this one display. But guys, as always, anything, my patrons, John, Andy, Steve, you guys are great. Always appreciate the support. If you guys are new here, make sure you like and subscribe. Whatever the thumbs up thing is, do that. Like and subscribe to this guy. Either way, I don't care. I'll catch you guys on the next review, whenever that is. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, wherever it is in your part of the world. So from me and Mr. Inked Gunpla,
keep on building.
There we go.